Hello everyone, welcome back to another Age of Empires 4 commentary. I am Beyond, and today we have 3DB playing in the orange as the French in a Call to Arms group stage matchup against Divine DFP playing as the mighty Rus in the blue. This map is EGC TV's very own Frisian Marshes, and I will also leave B's, Divine's, and EGC TV's links in the description below. B is constantly streaming, Divine's is as well, and then EGC TV is where the host of the actual tournament is. So go check all of them out. There are tons of amazing games going on all the time, mainly on weekends, so I would highly recommend watching more of this tournament. Today, B is playing as the French, and as of right now, the Rus are sitting at a 49.3% win rate across 536 games against the French, and the Rus across all ranks, that was the last one in the Conqueror and above, Rus across all ranks at a 51.9% win rate across 12,000 games. This is a very, very popular matchup, and we'll have to wait and see how much bounty that Divine can get. Already getting that early wheelbarrow, which means he's sitting in a very, very good spot. Has plenty of sheep to go around as well. And B is, of course, known for his unique play style. Very, very, very good player, and always very, very creative. So we can see that we don't have a lot of sheep coming in for B at the current moment, but is already utilizing these marshlands over here. Actually, it looks like his scout really didn't focus on getting those sheep. He did get them over here, but definitely wanted to attack that bounty collection from Divine. Now the Rus are, of course, I know the stats might not say it, but overall Rus are probably considered one of the, if not the best civ in the entire game right now. So B has a steep hill to climb, even though the stats, this is probably the best case scenario for him to get against French. So we'll have to wait and see if Divine decides to go for that classic Rus 2TC into Archer and Knight, kind of all in / go into late game. And then again, same thing with on the French side though, pretty identical, is 2TC into Knight Archer all in. So we'll have to wait and see who actually has the best of it. We have a little bit of micro going down over there. It looks like Divine was able to snag that last year, but B is going to have to bring home these 8 sheep because the French do struggle with food, and these people over here are going to need some food pretty soon. Across the way, we can just see that Divine is scooping up as many wolves and deer as he can possibly find. We do see that B decided to go 2 scouts to kind of help counteract that, get a few extra sheeps as well. And I really do like that this adaptation over here from B scooping up this 2,000 food just for free this close to his base. Divine did not go out and do this, but only, oh, that is brutal, only got one little pond. B got 2,000, the Rus player got 500. We see something I don't really see very often out of French at all. We have the Chamber of Commerce. Now, trade is in an okay spot, but it's usually pretty tough to pull off against Knight civs like the Rus. So we'll have to wait and see if this actually pays off for B, and if Divine's actually going to scout this out. Of course, we do have a lot of pretty solid ways to actually wall off over here. Had a little cough. But it's actually pretty easy to wall off because you can see that there's all small little sections in between all these ponds, which you can actually wall off and kind of get more value for it. Or you can just go straight across, and it's even a smaller section over here, connect them to the wood line back here and all the way back here. And you can have some pretty safe trade going on behind a pretty solid set of walls. The Kremlin is going down, being dropped in between the gold and the stone up top. Unfortunately for the Kremlin, not the best spot ever near the wood lines, which is almost where you always see it, at least have a piece of it, because of all that production for those lumber camps. So that's super, super unfortunate placement. This is more of a defensive Kremlin rather than one that's going to get some benefits out of it. But I don't really blame him because, like, where would you do? Would you stick it back here? It wouldn't really defend much at all. Now, that being said, we do see that B is now officially into the stage. And remember, with Chamber of Commerce, you get a free trader that starts to produce every single eco. So I'm not sure if B perfectly timed that, but as you saw, that eco upgrade for to gather deer and fish faster finished like 2 seconds after the Chamber of Commerce actually finished, which is absolutely incredible timing on that front. And here you can see all the eco upgrades coming in quite quickly for B. So that's going to turn into 4 more traders. Well, 3 right now, and then the 4th from the other one he just got. So that's just free eco. If this does pan out, and we do see that Divine is going to be scouting it quite quickly. Actually, now he's going to see it officially. This one definitely sees it. He's going to check it double time. So now he knows. We do see spears coming out already for Divine. Probably trying to just see if he can get some early spearmen out to protect his woodline against those knights that he expected. But he's not going to be seeing knights anytime soon, because we see a stable and a barracks coming out, actually. Barracks, that is unique, but we can also imagine that Divine might be going knights as well. So not a bad response here from B, but this is kind of what you come to expect from B as a player. Just always mixing it up a little bit and making creative new thoughts. This isn't a professional tournament, and this series is down to the wire. It went all 5 games, so this is a strategy that is all in for sure. And I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see if it pans out. Roos, again, is a powerhouse and a half, so even with the trade, Roos can get really going really well. So this is looking really good for everyone. And now we see, sorry about that, I coughed again. Again, I'm batch doing these before I go on vacation, so maybe my voice is just giving out at this point. But we do have a stone outcropping being collected, so we're going to be seeing that second TC built. As we predicted, probably going to be dropping it on these deer over here. I would have to assume it's where they're all going. So where's the outline? And also what this will do is not only will it secure the deer, but it'll also secure these. This is his pool over here. 6 shoreline fish over here. A little bit of micro there on that front, which is always really nice. As you can see, B is doing exactly what I mentioned down here, building walls in between all of these wood lines, making it so it's super easy to actually protect this in the backhand side. We see that these 2 scouts are really trying to take, they do actually get a trader. The 3 scouts do combine for a trader kill. So is some value over here, but now the knights are going to come and put a stop to all of these shenanigans. And here comes the villager over here, and they gain 73 a pop. Let's go see back here. We have 6 at this one, and we already have another trader going up. So B is going all in on trade, and if Divine doesn't do something about this quite soon, it's going to be in a really rough spot. Now, not exactly what you want to be trading in on a knight with those spearmen, but again, it's not the end of the day. It's not the worst thing ever, but now that knight is pretty low, effectively making it essentially useless in the next engage until they get that upgrade. But a good news is that with this many traders on the map, B is going to be very upgrade heavy, so it might not be the worst trade after all. But you do want to tend to avoid any engages with spearmen directly, because the knights will get absolutely cooked. This one's a pretty good one because they're focusing down the spearmen, and now they get to just chase these down and do even more trades. But there's only 4 spearmen on the map, and there are 3 knights and 6 spearmen of B's of their own. So they're going to be able to start to pressure this second TC over here. And as I mentioned before, this also secures those shoreline fish, which is a cool 3,000 food in this puddle over here. So a very valuable puddle. As you can see, this is really starting to impact the overall econ of the game, because not only is B trading at this point, the French get an extra upgrade of 17 seconds per villager. So even though there is 2 TCs for a Divine, B is sitting at a very good clip in terms of even just normal resource gathering as well. And we have a whole bunch of traders, 13 over here in total, which is 73 gold per pop. Absolutely nuts. Now, we can see that these knights are making their way over here looking for something. They know that this puddle is probably the most important puddle of the game. So if B can get them off of this, that would be probably really tough for Divine to recover from. And as you can see, we're starting to build up a very sizable mass over here, but a wooden fortress is going down, and there's a lot of spearmen involved over here. And for some reason, the villagers decide to run on over. That being said, one spearman does a lot of nice damage over there to the knight, and The thing is that the knights can die to the TC, those spearmen cannot. They do not have any ranged armor that can equip them for such a thing. But B did force him to move back to the safer food deer on the back end side, and here comes chivalry. As I mentioned, with the amount of gold that B is going to have at his disposal, it's going to be quite easy to start getting those upgrades that normal French players wouldn't be able to afford this time, because they'd be spending all of their gold on those knights. So now B just needs to focus in on getting a lot of food, and he can have essentially unlimited knights until this trade line goes down. Let's go check back on it. There's 18 traders strong coming from this market to this market, which is just nuts. It's going to be really, really tough for them to stop. Divine has not moved out at all. And that's actually, I mean, this is kind of what we were talking about in the last game. This is preying on the Rus always just going that second TC. This is how you kind of counter this. If you really struggle a lot with people just throwing down easy, safe TCs, and especially if you know going into it, the Rus player, maybe you've played them before, maybe they've just always done this in the past and you look up their match history. If they always go 2TC, you can do stuff like this. That is the one downside of 2TC. Yes, it's easy to defend on their part, so you're not going to actually be able to destroy their TC, but they're not going to be able to move out. 8 knights and 10 hardened spearmen into 10 and 10 is not going to equal out in a divine victory. And then on top of that, it's going to take him a long time to get over here to this side of the map. And at this point, we probably have 25 traders on the map. 20 at this point, 22 now in tow. And by the time he even got over there, it'd be close to 25, 26. And they would have to get through these walls, get into the actual trade line. And these knights are so mobile. There's 10 of them on the map. More to come. As you can see, the gold is starting to really start to float. And once B starts to invest in that food, he's going to be able to just press the old W button on these stables and just produce constantly. And same with, here come the archers as well. Sees the competition that's coming at him. Archers is a very good switch up for B on that front. We also see the defense coming in for Divine. But this is a great way to exploit this traditional build that Divine's going. It's like, you know what? Fine. Do it exactly the stock standard thing. That wall off is not going to be enough. We're actually getting some villager kills as well. Divine's a little bit late to the party to go down, and now they see it. The scout over here sees the promised land, and we have a whole bunch of villagers going to be going down for sure. I will say the Kremlins pop out lickety split. That's one of the things that make the Rus so powerful. A lot of knights are actually going down, so this is actually a decent trade for Divine. Those Kremlins are so good and so annoying, but a lot of idle time is happening on the front of Divine, so this is causing its own bit of damage, but it looks like the knights will be able to get out eventually, but they are going to have to run past his TC. It would actually be great if they actually did a little block with the Kremlins, but so they're going to be able to skeet out this side over here, and they are in the clear. Now, B is currently sitting at a 27 villager lead, and just honestly, it's just growing. His army is growing constantly, and here we go. As I mentioned, they're finally moving out. By the time they're moving out, though, they're a very immobile army. We have, what, 28 traders going back and forth, and they have to go through this to get to it. So it's not like they can even just like go over here and get out. It's fully walled off, so they'd have to alert B's forces of where they're coming from. And now B knows. He can see this. And instantly B's going to start to move around. And once this army gets in position, it's going to be able to absolutely clean this one out quite quickly. Now, the knights are back. They're going to start to heal up from that chivalry. And here's the squad. 15 and 12 and 12 versus 25 and 24. Unfortunately, this tower's not going to go up just in time, but here they are. And now the archers are going to get in position. I like this. This Divine, though, this positioning is really nice, though. The archers are hard to get a surround on without getting a lot of damage done by these spearmen. Looks like Beach is realizing that he has so many up front. He's able to just send those knights in. But actually, a lot of the spearmen are actually taking the damage up front, which is why this is going so well for B. The spearmen have gone down to a very small number. They're starting to run around everywhere else. And now it's just knights. A nice cleanup there from Divine, though. A lot of knights do go down. But now it's just spearmen versus archers and knights, and that is not what you want to see. Archers running away from knights in this composition is always going to lead to a really rough time. The Kremlins have been pulled, but it's so far away. It's going to be really hard to stop, and B has so much of an economy on the back end side of this. has over 1,300 gold per minute coming in. So these knights, you can just throw them away. Any trade's a good trade at this point, because if you're trading and you don't do anything about it, then it's going to be a really, really tough one for you. The Kremlins did get a nice engage over here. There's enough archers to really do away with them quite quickly, and they can move on. The Gremlins are actually stuck on a few of these spearmen, which is exactly what B wants to see. And now it's just streaming these orange knights into the backhand side of these archers. These archers are doing their best to kite these things down, but not much damage is being done. And it's just like I said, every single trade is a good one for B at this point. Constant stream of orange dots are going to be moving out across the map quite soon. These archers are actually retreating into the second TC over here, but they're going to have to go all the way home because they will continue to get chip damage as we go back. And now these archers are going to be able to pick off all these spears as well. And there we go. They're now going to move on to this TC over here. They're actually going to get in position before anything. Oh, no, 3 do pop in quite quickly. And now B knows that there's a ton of villagers over here, and he's standing in the way of them actually getting to safety. And this is an absolute slaughter. We have archers absolutely cooking everyone over here, and they're cranking away back here, shooting into the back line. The knights are just ignoring completely these spears running into these archers over here. The archers are destroying these frontline spearmen, and away we go. More and more melee attacks coming in. The archers and knights sitting on the second TC like it doesn't matter in the slightest. And more trades. As you can see, the top hand side, B has 95 villagers, but those are mostly traders. Let's go check the trade line out. 36 traders and still more on the way. So the French are showing exactly why they are so good right now with that passive bonuses. I haven't seen this landmark in quite some time, Chamber of Commerce, especially in pro play. So I'm excited that we get to see it today. B's pulling out all the stops to get this W in this series. Needs to move on to the playoffs, so every win counts for sure. Divine is playing absolutely really great right now, but it's just didn't have anything in the tank for a French trade. Divine had everything set up for that. If early night pressure, you saw that early barracks come out, early spearmen were already on their way, and by the time Divine was able to scout what was happening, there's already 3 or 4 traders going across the way. They did get a cheeky little pick off with with their 3 scouts, but that's about it. And there is the GG's. Divine knows that it is all over. Well played to both players, and if you did enjoy, please do like and subscribe. I'd thoroughly appreciate it.